Welcome back to the Terry and Jesse Show. Father Charles Murs here. He's the author of the book Murder in the 33rd Degree. If you want to get the book, we do have it on our website, vmpr.org, or call us at 877-526-2151. Father Murray, you left us on the edge. You're talking about Bella Dodd. This is a fascinating story. Can you share that with us?
Always a good place to leave you, Terry, on the edge.
Right? That's right.
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
There's more research being done on the Bella Dodd story and situation. All right.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be very positive. Right. They're doing more research on it.
Good.
But Bella Dodd was a member, not a member. I think she was head of the New York Communist Party. Yeah. And long and the short of the story was that she started listening to a curious man by the name of Fulton J. Sheen.
Full Sheen ahead. Go ahead.
And he got into her head.
Oh yeah.
And started making her think.
Yep.
The long and the short was that she became a Catholic. She left the Communist Party and she became a zealous Catholic. Mm. She reported, as not just a member, but a leader in the Communist Party of the United States of America, and reported to Congress that the communists worldwide had taken the decision to send at least 1,000 men into seminaries, Catholic seminaries, and have them study for the priesthood. Now, that may seem shocking to a lot of people. It's not at all. They did the same thing in Russia. They did this in Russia. They did this everywhere the Communist Party was in. They're doing it today in China. Yep. The same thing is going on in China. So there's nothing new about this. But their idea was get inside, and from inside, secularize. The Freemasons, when you're talking about the Freemasons, the communists, the socialists, anything that's major liberal, and does not admit to the existence of God, as far as I'm concerned, you're talking about the same thing. You're just talking about variations of a theme, right? Yep. They're working toward the same thing, and this is what they've been very busy doing, infiltrating. Taylor Marshall has a book called Infiltration. It's a very good book. And the idea is a very good idea, too. They did infiltrate. These people have been looking to infiltrate the church for years, decades. And they've made great strides.
Father, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
I know back in the 1950s, Bella Dodd, she's on YouTube. You can hear her saying this. She said back in the 1950s that there were 4 cardinals in the Roman Curia that were communist. That was in 1950 when she said that. How many, this is 2022. How many people if Bella Dodd were here, how many people would you say right now the Roman Curia are communists / Masons right now? If there were 60 years ago, how many are there now? Just throwing that out there.
You're absolutely right. And I wish I had an answer for you, but I'm sure it's a staggering amount.
More than back at 70 years ago, that's for sure.
Yes, but we have to keep a perspective here that's really important. People look at this and they hear about this and they say, well, the church is so corrupt with all of it. And now even good, faithful Catholics are listening to this, what we're talking about. And many of them are saying the corruption. Wake up. Wake up. Where the presence of Jesus Christ is strongest, Amen. You can be sure that the presence of the devil is going to be the strongest.
Makes sense.
Wake up. Wake up. This is a real battle that's going on. It's real. Where Christ is, Satan is. Do you remember that great dialogue? I don't know why anybody doesn't. SHEEN is the only one that I heard doing this. That great dialogue of the temptations of Christ in the desert. Oh, yeah. The dialogue between Christ and the devil. If you're the Son of God, do this. If you're the Son of God, tell these rocks to change into bread. If you're the Son of God, worship me and I'll give. I love this. SHEEN made this comment. He said, bow down, worship me, kneel before me, says Satan to God. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
The audacity, you talk about pride. And worship me, and I'll give you any of the governments of the world. They're mine.
Wow.
Right? Fulton J. Sheen made the little comment after that. He said, I think it was the first time the devil ever spoke the truth.
What a great line.
Right? But look, what is the most sacred moment of the life of Christ for us besides the institution of the Eucharist? Right?
Yeah.
I think the most sacred, I don't think it is, the most sacred moment is crucifixion and death, because with that, the gates of heaven were open.
Yep. Makes sense.
What do you have happening at the foot of the cross? You have again that same dialogue from the desert. If you're the Son of God,
I'm down.
Come down.
Yes.
If you're the Son of God, save yourself and save others.
Same thing.
If you're the Son of God, right?
Yep.
If you're the Son of God, the same questions.
Yep.
This was at the beginning of Christ's ministry, and it was at the very end of his earthly ministry here on earth. The devil is there. If the devil is walking with Christ to dare try to tempt God, why in the world would he not be at the very center of the Roman Catholic Church, which is God's sacred body, mystical body on earth?
Makes sense.
Of course, he's going to be there.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and this is where people have to mature a little bit. And they have to mature a little bit. Yes, we have corruption. There's no question of that. We also have great saints in the Vatican. Believe me, there are men who are devoted to the salvation, their salvation of their souls, and also the salvation of the church. So we've got everything.
Right.
But you never forget, where the presence of Christ is strongest, so is the presence of the diabolic.
Oh, well said. Jess,
Right.
next question.
Father,
Go ahead.
Yeah, Father. So is Freemasonry a religion? I mean, or is it a philosophy? Is it just a good old boys club? I mean,
Well,
what?
yes, and yes. yes, and yes. It's a good old boys club. It's a business arrangement. There are a lot of people get into Freemasonry because of business connections. You know that. You've talked to them. I was invited to become a Freemason years ago before I was a priest.
Wow.
And after I was a priest.
Oh my gosh.
Sure. Yes. Yeah. So, but you'll have all these connections. At the time, I was so busy trying to get funds for the orphanage I was building. You know, you want to do anything. You guys, come join the Freemasons. I'll get you in.
Oh my.
We'll take care of you. You know. Anyway, yes, it's an old boys club. It's a this. It's a that. It's also with their rituals. They have rituals. They have vestments.
Yes.
They have pseudo sacraments. They have sacramentals. Yes, it's sort of a religion. You cannot speak you can't speak of Christ. It's forbidden to speak of Christ in their meetings or in their lodges.
Wow.
But they do admit God, and as a matter of fact, you had to believe in God. You had to believe in God to be a Freemason until very recently. They accepted atheists. Do you know, you've got to stop and think. We were all alive. The three of us were alive at one time when the American Psychiatric Association considered atheism a mental disorder.
Wow. I didn't know
Right?
that.
I didn't
Oh,
know
yes,
that either.
yes. There's something wrong. There's something
Wow.
wrong here, right? Now, all of a sudden, we've gone to the opposite. If you're a Christian, you must be mentally ill.
Yes,
if
true.
you talk to God in prayer, you must be mentally ill.
Oh, my
There's something. But the Masons never denied the existence of God. No. They refuse to speak of anything other than the God as the great architect. All of this.
Father Murr, you mentioned that you were asked to be a Mason even as a Catholic priest, and many people think, not true, but they say, didn't the Catholic Church change its excommunication policy with the new Code of Canon Law back in 1983, and they think that now it's permitted for Catholics to become Freemasons? Tell me it ain't true.
No, listen, here's what happened.
Yeah,
and they were revising the Code of Canon Law.
Right.
The old Code of Canon Law was written in 1917.
Right.
So so even for the traditionalists, you know, I say this, I'm a traditionalist. I'm a conservative, I'm a traditionalist, I'm Orthodox.
Yeah.
Some things change in life.
Yeah.
there are new situations that
Yeah,
come
of
up.
course.
Right? We've got to get with it. So yes, there were some changes. They rewrote canon law. What they did curiously here in the Code of Canon Law, there was no mention in the new code of Freemasonry.
Omission, huh?
As if it disappeared.
Yeah.
And there were many people who just wanted it to disappear. One of the characters in my book is Monsignor Mario Marini,
Yes.
who took Bugnini's old job. He was in Bugnini's Bugnini, as I call him, old job in the Congregation for Divine Worship. But Mario Marini went immediately to the Congregation for the Doctrine of Faith, headed at that time by Cardinal Ratzinger. And he said to Ratzinger, just a minute here. I see the new Code of Canon Law. You sent it to all of us who work in the Curia. There's no mention of Freemasonry or that Freemasons are excommunicated from the Catholic Church. He said, nothing has changed in that. Why isn't it in the code? And it was Marini and a few others, Gagnon also,
yes,
one of them, brought this to Ratzinger's attention. Ratzinger looked it over again and saw that somebody had indeed, more than one, had taken it out. There was just no mention. He put it back in.
God bless him.
It's back in the 1983. There be no doubt about it. The same penalty exists.
Wow.
So yes, but there was a move. There was a move to get to say that. Well, today you can become a Freemason.
Yeah.
No.
We're going to take another quick break with Father Charles Murr on the Terry and Jesse Show. Stay with us, family.